Welcome to another installment of Celebrity Profiles here on Live from Dennis's house as part of the Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. Today we're going to be talking to Darlene Love. That's right, one of the greatest voices of all time. She was born Darlene Wright in Texas. She was raised in California, a minister's daughter. She grew up listening to gospel music and singing in the church. She had a number one hit in 1962 with He's a Rebel, and of course she worked with Phil Spector. We're going to ask about his troubles, and she was singing on everyone's records. You name it, she sang on it. Elvis, Sinatra, Sam Cooke, Beach Boys, Tom Jones, Sonny and Cher, you name it, she sang on it. And then she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Bette Midler. And she's synonymous with Christmas, which I think it may be the best Christmas song of all time. Christmas, Baby, Please Come Home. A lot of people agree with that. So she's a wonderful lady, and we're going to talk about her 2015 album, Introducing Darlene Love, and we're going to see what else is going on. On the phone with us now is the legendary Darlene Love. So, Darlene, we're going to talk about what you're up to now, then we're going to circle back and wrap up your whole life in about 20 minutes. So, first, first, I want to wish you a happy birthday. I understand your birthday was just this past week.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Did you do anything special for your birthday?
I was actually in California doing a show in Pasadena, California, with the Pasadena Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
So it was really great. It was different. I do enjoy working with orchestras. They make my job a little easier.
So I understand that you're heading off to Europe now, that you're going to be headlining an Elvis Festival.
Yeah, they've been trying to get me to do this for a while now, but something always came up. I was busy during the time they wanted me to do it. But this time we were able to confirm it and do it. And it seems like they asked me first of the year, and I think that's why we were able to do it. What they do is they try to use people that had something to do with Elvis. I was in his 1968 comeback special in 1968, and they want me to do the same gospel medley that I did with Elvis in the special.
Okay.
So I have something to do with him, so that therefore they always try to get somebody that was acquainted in some way or another with Elvis.
Right, and that was like, some people say that was the pinnacle of Elvis's career when he came back for that 68 special, all dressed in leather. So to be part of that must have been amazing.
It was, it was different. I had no idea what they were going to be doing, and we didn't have any idea we would actually be featured in his special. But once we got to meet Elvis, and Elvis found out that I was a gospel singer and grew up in gospel music, that just hooked us up right. We did a lot of talking about gospel songs. So when we got ready to shoot the special, he told them the day before that he wanted the Blossoms, the group I was singing with at the time, to be actually in the gospel number with him. So that was really great.
Wow, that must have been amazing. Yeah. So, you talked about gospel now. That a lot of people, it seems like everybody's get their start. Great singers, all great singers got their start in churches, singing in with the gospel music. And you grew up in L.A. singing in the church in the gospel. What is it about singing in the church that prepares you or helps you in your career as a singer?
Well, it helps you in many ways. It gives you a great start, how, not to be nervous singing in front of people. And because the audience, the people in the church help you along. They don't want you to be afraid, or they don't want you to be scared. So, they kind of egg you on. Like, they'll say, sing, honey, come on, sing, honey. And so my father was a pastor. And so as we used to we tell people we're in church all day long, starting at 9:30 at Sunday school. Then we had service, and then we had afternoon service, then we had night service. So once we left home on Sunday morning, we didn't get back till late on Sunday evening. So it got you prepared for it. And, back in those days, we didn't have microphones or sound system or anything like that. Anytime we had air, we had the fans, and our windows stayed open in our church. I was wondering if we were able to get air during those times.
Yeah. So, and I just as researching for this interview, I'm sure you knew that your sister Edna was in the band the Honeycombs.
Right.
Yes, I did not know that. I know pretty much everything. I was very shocked to know that. You know,
Slip one by you, right?
Yeah, of
well,
course.
I actually started her in this business.
Right.
I was working for Phil Spector at the time, and I needed another singer, and I knew she could sing, and I knew she could sing background. So I went and got her from her job. And I think that was the last day she was at her job. She continued singing from that day on
Oh,
until
that's great.
stopped. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had no idea she was going to be, like a big star also, with the group The Honeycomb, but they were very successful. So that was good.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can take a little credit for that one.
Yeah, there you go. Big sister helping your little sister out. That's the way it should be.
Right.
So now you mentioned Phil Spector. Everybody knows you had this huge career working with him, and you had all these hit songs. But how did that happen? How did you connect with Phil Spector in the first place?
Well, because I lived here, lived in Los Angeles, I worked with a lot of record producers. And one of the record producers we worked for, his name was Lester Seal. Unbeknown to me, that was Phil Spector's partner. Phil Spector was in New York, and he was looking for a group to make this record. He wanted to fly to California and get a band together, a session band and session singers, and learn this song and go into the studio and record it. And that's exactly what we did. And back in the 60s, this business was unstable or was stable because people had hits all the time. So it was hits right after, and they were 45s.
Right.
Or in the earlier days, they were 78s. So I know you know about all that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, when I got with Phil, he taught me the song, and I went in the studio as a session singer. Now, I could sing lead, but I had never sang lead before as a session singer because I was just doing background. But he wanted me to sing lead on this record. Of course, and the record was a record called He's a Rebel. But when I went in the studio to do this song, I knew this song was going to be for the Crystals. It wasn't like I found out later, that it was going to be for. That was my deal with Phil Spector.
Right.
I got paid $3,000 to sing the lead on that song. And I said it wasn't going to be a hit anyway. So let me make them pay me, and I'll go on my merry way. Well, to my surprise, it was a hit. It was a #1 record for about 2 or 3 weeks. And after that, Phil Spector thought that, that he could really do something with me and my career and the Blossoms. And he started recording us under his label, Phyllis Records. And we went from there, and we say all the time, it seems like it was a long time, but it wasn't but about 3 or 4 years that we were actually with Phil.
Right.
And we were just busy.
Right. Yeah. It must have been so exciting, though. Do you get to enjoy that? Was it a whirlwind, or did you sit back and say, oh, I can't believe this is happening. This is so awesome. I get to enjoy every minute.
No. We did really enjoy it because the Blossoms, most people don't really know, we were the first black group to do recording sessions.
Okay.
There was not any before we started. But the joy of it was we got so busy, people started using us because they loved our sound, and we could just about do any kind of backup, rock and roll, gospel, country and western, pop, you name it, we could do it. But we got so busy we couldn't do all the work, so we started giving work to other people that we knew that could do the job. So we were instrumental in getting a lot of other black singers doing background. So that's like a little thing that the Blossoms had that it really made us feel good to know we did that, because when we were singing, we didn't realize there weren't any other black background singers.
Right. Yeah.
Had no idea. We were just getting calls for sessions, and we joined the union, and we started getting work.
That's awesome. Now, working with Phil Spector, of course, he was a genius. Everyone knows the troubles that he's come into recently. But during that time, did he behave himself in the studio with you, or was he erratic? How was he?
Well, he was erratic in a way that most producers that we had been involved with leaned on the Blossoms to fix their background. To let us. This is what we want. This is what you want. This is what we want you to do. But with Phil, he knew exactly what he wanted, and he would tell us, "This is what I want you to do. I want you to do oohs here. I want you to do ahs here. I want you to sing lyrics here, whatever." I tell people he was like the man in the ringleader in the circus. He popped the whip and everybody jumped and jumped too. But it was what was really great. I think about all of Phil Spector's sessions that everybody had a little part. Everybody. Once Phil laid down everything that he wanted, then people would add their little things to it. If Phil didn't like it, he would tell them to stop. But if he liked it, they continued on. So everybody had a part in making those records. The musicians, the engineers, everybody. Even, the singers after a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it got to be so crowded in the studio, it was a joke.
Yeah, right. And that he knew exactly what he wanted to hear, right? And you guys played with some of the best musicians in the world, the Wrecking Crew, all these studio guys, right?
Right. And it made them famous like it made the Blossoms famous. I mean, they all were wealthy musicians.
Right.
The only problem was the Blossoms could not do as many sessions as they were doing.
Right.
You know, I mean, with our voices being our instruments, we couldn't do more than 3. One time we did 4 sessions in one day, and that's it. We'll never do another. We're not trying to die in the recording studio.
Yeah, you need a rest after that. So,
right.
Did you get to work with, I understand, Leon Russell was working on these sessions at the same time too, right?
Yeah, Leon Russell, Sonny Bono, Cher, Hal Blaine, who was the drummer at the time. If I had time, I could probably quote everybody's name that was in the session room. It would take a while.
Yeah.
But mostly all of those people that were in those sessions became famous.
Yes, absolutely.
We all started doing this television show called Shindig. The only thing, we couldn't do as many, but the musicians, as soon as they did the music, they could go and do our sessions where we couldn't,
Yeah.
But it ended up, we ended up becoming a family, and all of us became friends.
Yeah.
Which was wonderful.
So, I don't know if you want to discuss it, but were you in touch with Phil in the later years?
Not in the later years, no. I moved to New York City, and because me and Phil just were not getting along well, he wouldn't let me do. He wanted to do what he wanted me to do. He wanted to own me. He figured he created me, so he wanted to own me.
Right.
And it came down to it. It wasn't a very nice situation because after my contract ran out, after 7 years, I went with Gamble and Huff, Philadelphia International. And I wasn't even there a good week with them, where Phil bought my contract back from them.
Okay.
So things really weren't going well with me and Phil.
Yeah. It's a shame. True genius. But
and I know the problem was that he wanted to control me. Anything I did, he wanted to have his name stamped on it.
Right.
You are who you are because of me. And he tried, even after I moved to New York, I was doing the David Letterman show every year, singing the one Christmas song that is the holiday Christmas song. Baby, please come home. And Phil actually called them and told them that I wasn't allowed to sing that song, and if I continued to sing it, he was going to sue the channel. And they said, well, their answer was, great, sue us. But he was always trying to do little things like that to me, where God had his hand on me, and God is a little bigger than Phil.
Yeah. That's it. You got to behave
My
yourself.
career actually got bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better. So,
Yeah.
and it had a lot to do with Phil Spector, because if it wasn't for those songs that I recorded back in the '60s, I'm willing to believe they wouldn't be as big as they are today.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then, like you just mentioned, no interview is complete with Darlene Love until you talk about Christmas. You've become part of Christmas now.
Exactly.
I say
they call me, David Letterman started calling me the Queen of Christmas, and now
yeah.
stuck.
I remember that every year. So, do you miss performing on Letterman show? But I understand you do a lot of concerts around Christmas anyway.
Say that again?
Do you miss performing on the Letterman show every year?
Oh, yeah, because we started off on NBC, and then David got another time slot, so we went to CBS.
Right.
So I started with them, and the amazing thing about it, all the people that started with David on one network, they all followed him over to the next network, which I did also. And so, it was very exciting watching all of that. You know what I mean? Just watching it happen and me be a part of that history.
Yeah, and you guys look like you had a lot of fun performing that with Paul Schaefer and the whole crew.
Yeah,
everybody.
Because Paul used to play for me a lot.
Right.
I would be doing a gig somewhere, and I'd invite him up on the stage to play the piano, because Paul is one of those magical piano players that he hears a song one time and he can play it.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about another genius when it came to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great arranger. Yeah. So, and going with this, that your influence, you had influence on pretty much everybody, It's just like, you never hear anybody say, oh, I don't like Darlene Love's music. Everyone says, I love Darlene Love. She's so nice, and she's the greatest singer of all time, some people have said. But
well, yeah, it's amazing, because a lot of times when you're doing what you love to do, you don't know who you're inspiring.
Right, exactly. And
especially
then,
if you're doing what you love and you're doing it right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I met the who's of who's in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. And even my career today has put me with some of the young people, that they say little words about Darlene Love, So
yeah,
you can't
absolutely.
do that,
Mm-hmm. And that I wanted to ask you about, because your recent connection with Bruce Springsteen and Stephen Van Zandt, and your album introducing Darlene Love in 2015, which is a great album, and it just, mixes everything together. It's a lot of soul, funk, girl group, everything. It was a great album.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He is amazing. That's all I can say. I thought, after Phil Spector that, well, who's going to record me? How can I get back into the music business? And Stevie, he got me down. He knew every lick, everything. He got the right people to write songs for me, and which was a big job, and he went in that studio, and for about a month to 2 months, that's all we did, We recorded. We had the best musicians, the best singers, which were my singers.
Right.
So it was a lot, but we got it done.
Yeah.
And we were laughing, talking. Me and Stephen was, let's hurry up and hope we can finish it before Bruce decides we want to go back out on the road again. And did.
Yeah. So, and of course, you've been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is a great honor. And you were inducted by Bette Midler, which must have been a great honor too. I know you guys worked together.
Yes, which is amazing, because that's another wonderful artist that I didn't know admired me.
Right.
Because if there's anybody great, and I tell her this to this day, I don't know anybody who commands a stage like Bette Midler does.
Right.
Don't have to take off her clothes. Not that I'm talking about all the rest taking off their clothes. But it's her, her presence on the stage. You don't take your eye off of her when she's on stage.
Yeah.
She's just magic.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that she is a peer, a person that adores me and loves me, loves what I do. And when they told me she was inducting me into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I was like flabbergasted because they don't let you choose the person
Okay.
that put you in, because I don't know who I would have chose. You know, people, I owe a lot to a lot of people. You don't get where you are by yourself.
Right.
There's a lot of hands in the fire that you don't even know or realize. And when they said it was going to be Met, I was like, oh, wow. I never would have thought of her. But
Right, yeah.
the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because I adore her. I just love her.
Yeah. She's a legend.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so do you think there's any new legends coming along now? I'm like saying maybe Lady Gaga. Do you know, who do you like that might be around 40 years from now still doing it?
You know, I love Lady Gaga. I think she's great. She's a great artist. My girl is a girl, I can't even think of her name right now. She's from London.
Adele?
Adele. Oh, I admire her so.
Yeah.
It's just her voice. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
You know, I don't know how many of the singers that are out there today can just get on the stage and sing.
yeah. Like you said.
Just sing. Just hold your attention just like singing.
And keep your clothes on, too,
That's
at the same
what
time.
they're all going to end up having to do, because what they're doing now, they're not going to be able to do that when they're 50, 60, 70.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, that's just the way the bodies are meant to be.
Yeah. So let me ask, when you were working as a background singer, you worked with everybody, Sinatra, Tom Jones, even the funniest thing that I found out, another thing I didn't know that I found out, that you sang on Cheech and Chong's song, Basketball Jones.
Basketball Jones. Yeah, we were very good friends with Lou Adler. He was their producer. And Lou always thought if he needed background singers, no matter what, he could use the Blossoms. Whatever.
Right. But when you were like on tour with Ever or singing in a studio, and did you ever say to yourself, I am such a better singer than this front person. I should be out there, not this person.
You know, that's funny, because that's one question we get all the time. But as a backup singer, me, the Blossoms, I can't speak for the rest of the background singers. We have worked with so many people that we were better than. But you don't think about that when you're hired.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like getting hired for a company. You know, that you might be better than whoever's up over you, but that's not the idea why you look at that job, that job.
Yeah.
You get that job because you can help them.
Right.
You can make the sound that they need. So you don't go in there thinking actually about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I guess you were successful at it. You had a great attitude about it.
And you have definitely. I think you have to have that attitude. You can't go in and say, "Now you know I can out-sing this child by 10 miles." That's not what you're hired to do. You're hired to make them look good. As we used to say, we're part of the dressing.
Yeah. So
like musicians.
Is there anyone you haven't worked with that you would like to work with?
You know what? I've always said I wanted to work with. You know, I love the gospel singers. I'm such a gospel person. I came up with the gospel greats of the time. But you know, today I'm laying, as they say, in the cut to work with Barbra Streisand.
Oh, wow, that would be nice. Yeah. So.
Oh, but see, I've been so blessed to be able to work with people I've always wanted to work with, like Aretha Franklin, you know, Whitney Houston, who is not here with us today.
Yeah.
But I got a chance to really know her. I was a godmother to her. And so, you know, I look at her and I say, man, was there any voice greater than hers? And I have to say no. I don't think there will ever be another Whitney Houston. And nobody should even try to be another Whitney Houston. I'm a great sport addict, and I love Michael Jordan. Don't try to be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He's going to be better than Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's the greats of greats. They are what they are, and I always say every good and perfect gift comes from above, and everybody has a gift. And if you use your gift and stay where you're supposed to be, you'll be as successful as anybody, or as however you want to be, you will be there.
Excellent words of wisdom. So,
yeah.
yeah. So what's coming up next?
Keeps your head balanced.
Yeah. So what do you got coming up next besides the Elvis tour coming up, and of course your Christmas stuff? But you got your autobiography coming out.
That I'm hoping and praying that I can keep on doing this Christmas thing that I've been doing for the last 20 years. If I can keep that up for another 5 years, I'll be real happy.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to one thing I've always wanted to do is finish my career in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. A residency?
I worked in Las Vegas many years ago for a while, but, just to be stable in one place.
Right.
Vegas has gotten so great now. A lot of the big stars, as you know, are working in Las Vegas now.
Yeah.
They're resident there.
Exactly.
And it's to travel. You do one show a night, and you work 5 days a week. You have a couple of days off. And, it's like, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome.
If I could end my career there, I'd be very, very, very happy.
Yeah,
Come
absolutely.
home and say, okay, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
I've done all I wanted to do, and this is great.
And then on your final performance, you can have Barbra Streisand come out and sing with you.
Yes, wouldn't that be something? That would be magic. Because you know what? Out of everybody that's out there, her voice is still unbelievable.
Yeah. People are amazing. Like you said, a gift from above, all of you singers.
That's right. That is a gift.
Yeah. So, I want to thank you for calling in. You were wonderful. And I want to thank you for all the music, the joy you've given to me and millions of other people with your music. And I want to thank you and thank you for calling in. And we'll see you out there on the road.
Yes. Hope to meet you and see you one day.
Yes. Do you live in L.A. now or New York? Where do you live?
I'm in New York now, yeah.
Okay, because I'm calling. I know you filmed your Forbidden Nights video, like in Asbury, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm calling you from Asbury Park, New Jersey right now. So.
Well, all right. I'll be there soon. They're going to honor me.
Okay.
In September, so I'll be in Asbury Park in September.
All right, so I'll definitely be there. I'll come check it out then.
All right. Give me a holler.
All right. Great, Darlene. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, that was our interview, Darlene Love, here on 474 The Mix, Celebrity Profiles, live from Dennis's house. What a great interview. What a great woman. What a great career. She just seems so nice, lovely. And, what more can be said about her? She's a true legend. And, so go out, get her 2015 album, Introducing Darlene. Go get the back catalog. Definitely go see her live whenever she's around. So, there's really nothing more to say. It's just, she's absolutely amazing. Live from Dennis's house, 474 The Mix. This interview will be transcribed in Madhouse Magazine. See you next time.